Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is Rowan Fox at the Tea Leaves and Tarot Parlor with another update for you on this Tuesday. So, a lot going on, a lot going on. And as most of you know, I just have been evacuated. I don't know when I'll be returning to my home due to the fires in Southern Oregon. I'd like to thank all of you. So many of you reached out to me, and I couldn't even get back to all of you that reached out to check on me, to let me know that you were sending healing energy, and also to give me a place to stay or offer a place to stay. And that really means a lot, going through a serious crisis situation like I was in. So, thank you for all of that. And now I'm just kind of starting to get settled again and put myself back together here. I do not know when I will be able to return home at this point. I do know that my home is there, so that's a good thing, and I feel very blessed because I was able to, because my home's still standing. A lot of neighborhoods were just decimated. There are a lot of people that are homeless right now, and a lot of people needing help right now. So I'm anxious to get back and see how I can be of service to my friends, neighbors, and to the greater community as a whole. So that being said, I'd like to get on with the message from today from the guides, which the message is about unity and community. And one of the things that they brought through to me, and this is the first time I've actually meditated and connected in with them since this last Tuesday, when I was literally had 40 minutes to pack everything up and get out of my house. Unity. And what my guides are telling me is that myself and everyone in that situation, everyone in those communities, just went through a major initiation. Apparently, I passed because they're very happy with me on the other side, or I'm doing well right now. But the message that they want me to come through with is about working together, about unity, about community, about helping out, about serving who you can and when you can. For me, my first act of service was, after sneaking back into my home when I really shouldn't have, was to take out 75% of my clothes. I'm sure I'm going to regret some of them, and put them in trash bags and donate them to people that only were able to leave with the clothes on their backs. So, and that was all I could do. My home was still standing, and I felt blessed that it was. But one important message that they want me to get across, what they want me to talk about today, other than unity and community and coming together to help each other out as you rebuild, because we are all going through these extremely transitional times. So there's going to be much more of this, no matter where you are, whether it's an earthquake or a flood or something else that gives you the opportunity to come together as a community. The guides do not want divisiveness. They do not want us to engage in political wars, especially as we get closer to the election. They want us to be able to have respect for each other and to allow each other to vote their conscience, vote the way they want, but also to see each person as the individual that they are, and to try and find that common ground, because the only way we are going to come into this new earth energy, the only way we are going to be able to rebuild our communities, is going to be if we can come together in unity, teamwork, in other words. And that's what they are working for on the other side for us. They also want me to talk a little bit about spirit guides and working with your guides. They wanted me to share my experience because it was significant. It was very significant because every aspect of my experience was about my guides, about listening to my guides, about following my intuition, even when it didn't make logical sense. And of course, yes, I've developed this relationship with my guides over, gosh, probably 30 years or more. But they're still, your guides are available to you. It's about knowing how to access them. It's about asking for help. So they wanted me to go through the step by step of what happened last Tuesday when I actually looked down and saw my phone while I was in a session, and saw my phone and a message of, hey, you're being evacuated. And so at that point, of course, I got off my session and I got my bug out bag because I had it. And I also have a family heirloom of this beautiful chest that my great great grandmother brought over from Germany. And so it's been in my family for literally generations. And that is the number one bug out bag, because everything that is important or essential to my life and my family is in that. So once the chest gets packed, I'm good. And once the essentials get packed, I'm even better. And then the pets. And that's exactly what I went through, is I did everything that way and was able to get out and be in my car within 40 minutes. And I would have had to be anyway. So the next step was, getting to my niece's house, where there were opportunities to stop along the way. And I was getting phone calls saying, maybe we should stop here. Maybe this should happen. Maybe that should happen. But my guides were telling me, don't stop in Phoenix. It's going to be worse. Keep going. So everything was guided. There were fires all around us. And of course, then they warned me, to get to my niece's house and that I would be evacuated from there a second time, and to be prepared for that evacuation as well. So we were able to get stuff packed up from there and be prepared and seek out, a whole hotel room in Klamath Falls. Very happy to arrive in Klamath Falls that night and have a place to stay, because many people didn't. So, and interestingly enough, before I had left my neighborhood, I did really one essential thing. I called them in. I invoked them. As I was leaving, I invoked my guides. I sent up a huge 911 call to everybody on the other side, all of the egregores I'm associated with, and I called them all in and said, save my life, my pets, my family and friends, and save my house. And I threw as much magic around my home as I possibly could as I was driving away in gridlock traffic, which almost never happens in Talon, Oregon. And of course, I invoked the fox, my power animal. And when you invoke spiritual aid, it is all around you. It is working with you. It is working through you. It is working for you on the other side. It begins lining things up for you in amazing ways. And the most beautiful thing about it is that it is always reflected back at you. So in other words, as I was driving along, I passed more RVs of the Arctic Fox RVs than I've ever seen in my life, which was just a symbolic, message from them to me. We've got your back and we're working for you right now. Your team is working for you. And to some people that may seem like a strange coincidence. It's really not. When you walk in both worlds and you live a magical life, you begin to learn that spirit speaks to you through symbolism, allegory, and metaphor all the time, if you're paying attention. And if you're paying attention and you get the messages, you just move through things like this with a lot more alacrity. Not a little alacrity, but a lot more. And that was definitely a big help. And so it was very traumatic, being evacuated once, having the message I would be evacuated a second time. And for most of you that know me also know that I am a member of a co-Masonic lodge. So I have that as well. And towards the end of the evening's adventure, when we finally arrived in Klamath Falls with 3 cars filled with pets and our belongings and trying to find the hotel room, my niece's husband pulled off into a deserted parking lot, what appeared to be a deserted parking lot, just to, so that we could all get our bearings and figure out where the hotel actually was, since we had safely made it to Klamath Falls. And as I looked up at the side of the building, just floating there in a very shadowy kind of way, was the Masonic emblem, the square and compasses, which to me, that let me know in that moment that I was okay, that I had reached safety, that they had guided me all the way, among others, for sure, because there were, like I said, I had everybody was working for me. Everybody on the other side was working for me in that moment. So I knew that I was okay, that I was okay for at least that night, and I could rest easy that it was going to be okay, and that I still had their help and their support. So the reason they want me to bring this through is because we are all in tough times, no matter what type of initiation you're going through, no matter how little or how small it is. We all have to navigate this very difficult energy. And in navigating this very difficult energy, we need help and support from each other, from those of us that are flesh and bone beings, that are spirit encased in matter right now. That very human component, we need each other. And we also need our sources from the other side. We need our guides. We need our power animals. We need all that we can muster right now. So we do not want to cut out any support that is available to us. And the better the connection, the I don't want to say easier it's going to be. It's not going to be easy, but it's going to make you feel better. It's going to make you feel like you are truly not alone. Because there are moments down here during this great ascension, during this change, where you can feel like you're the only one that is experiencing what you're experiencing and the difficulties that you're experiencing. And that's simply not true. Everyone that is down here right now is on an initiation path. Everyone that is down here on this planet right now is either going through a challenge at this time or will be going through a challenge. So we have to help each other out, and we don't have to, but our guides want us to connect. They want us to remember to ask them for help and that they are available to us. They want me to remind you right now that they cannot always. There are certain circumstances, but for the most part, they cannot intervene with our free will. They cannot just jump in and say, hey, Rowan looks like she's having a rough time and needs some help. They need to be invited in. They need to be given permission to interfere on behalf of our free will. We need to ask for their help, in other words. And so that is the message today. It is the message of asking for help, of giving help and offering when you can, and of just moving through this difficult energy. My guides are telling me that as we get into spring of 2021, and that we are going to be in an easier pattern. So it's not going to be quite as intense as 2020 has been. It will begin to lift. And they also want me to let you know that I am preparing some classes right now for the International Academy of Universal Self-Mastery, which I will be teaching on. And one of those classes is on meeting your spirit guides. And it will be a free class. I will also have one on psychic shielding, shielding for the empath, and a taste of tarot. But the important one right now is the spirit guide class. And unfortunately, it's not quite ready yet to go, but you can look to early October. You can look to around, let's just say, the second week of October. That should be up and running, and I will be giving you more information on that. And Gaia and I will also be doing some healing work and finding a way that the Tea Leaves and Tarot Parlor can participate in helping people move through trauma. And that is the message for today. And I hope all of you are well. If you need any help or assistance, once again, we are here for you at the Tea Leaves and Tarot Parlor. Well, physically, I'm not there right now, but hopefully I will be back next week. And so you can just check in with us to see what offerings we have and what we are doing. Okay, once again, Rowan Fox, Tea Leaves and Tarot Parlor. Everyone stay safe and have a beautiful week.